Well, hello everybody out there in internet land. That is my cat. Oh, God. Well, hello everybody out there in internet land. This is Chris from HHN with another exciting episode of Topher's Log. Alas, we did not have an announcement last week for reasons, I suppose, depending on who you talk to, depending on, where you read stuff, who knows why. But we were supposed to have an announcement last week. I have no idea why they decided to cancel it. I have my own theories, but not going to get into those right now. Nevertheless, we had a little drop from John Murdy. Perhaps next week we could have an announcement. I fully expect something monstrous to be announced next week, but I expected it last week, so we will see. But anyway, let's move forward and do an actual Topher's Log. I don't think I've done one of these actual Topher's Logs in a while. Where we just talk about the chatter and what people are speculating and all that stuff, for Halloween Horror Nights 29. And I wanted to talk a little bit about something that's been around since the very early days of speculation this year, and I think it sort of threw some people for a loop. Let's talk a little bit about Rob Zombie, and specifically House of a Thousand Corpses. We know that Rob Zombie has 3 from Hell opening this year, which is the third movie in the series. There's House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and now we have 3 from Hell, which is the sequel to all those. I think I kind of threw some people for a loop because the rumor is that it's House of a Thousand Corpses and not 3 from Hell, or maybe not some kind of a mashup of all 3 films. Orlando, of course, has never had House of a Thousand Corpses. Hollywood has had it in the past. I actually really would like House of a Thousand Corpses. I think I'm one of the few people. I know Rob Zombie has his fans, but I think some people are a little thrown when I sort of tell people that I like Rob Zombie's films. I think, while he mainly focuses a lot on the gore and the sort of violent aspect of his movies, I think the guy is a really a knowledgeable filmmaker. He knows how to make a movie. Whether or not you enjoy what he does or not is really, sort of up for opinion. But I enjoy the films that he makes. I even like his Halloween remake. I'm not a fan of Halloween H2. I think he went a little too overboard with that one, but his Halloween remake I actually quite enjoy. House of a Thousand Corpses, I remember way back in the day, I believe it was Cabin Fever. I think that was the movie. They debuted a teaser trailer for House of a Thousand Corpses, and I remember my group of friends, we were all excited. We're like, oh my God, Rob Zombie's making a horror movie. This is insane, And they debuted this teaser trailer, and the movie didn't come out for like 2 years. It was like, okay, this teaser trailer's here, but nothing ever really came of it. The sort of hype and rumors and speculation about the movie being like this really hard, gritty, like NC-17, all this stuff came about over the next 2 years before the film was actually released, about how insanely gory and violent it was. I remember seeing House of a Thousand Corpses. I remember finding a theater that was actually showing it. I don't believe the movie was released as NC-17. I think they did cut it down to an R eventually, a hard R. I can't remember. I got to go back and I got to look at that. But I quite like Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. At the time, it was kind of our own sort of window into what perhaps a Texas Chainsaw remake could look like. Of course, we got the Texas Chainsaw remake not too long, or around the same time that House of a Thousand Corpses came out. And that first film sort of comes across today, and even at the time, some people might look at it and go, oh, well, it's just a Texas Chainsaw sort of, ripoff. I think it's definitely inspired by Texas Chainsaw. There's no doubt about that. If you watch the movie, it very much has a Texas Chainsaw Massacre type of feel. But I kind of like it. I think it's a really cool throwback, a really cool homage to that style of filmmaking. And I would really like it to come to the event because they haven't done it. And I remember when Hollywood got it, I was like, oh, well, why haven't they done it? I think it'd be a good addition here. It sort of fits the pattern of maybe like a cult, cult classic style film or something along those lines. Although, I mean, House of a Thousand Corpses is still fairly new, even though it's from the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s. I think it's still too new to really call it a cult classic, but it does have a cult following where, people do like the film, and they, it's not like, I would actually say that The Devil's Rejects is probably the much more I think people know that movie a little bit more than they do House of a Thousand Corpses. In fact, I would even say some people might not even realize that it's related. That even Three from Hell, people might not realize that the movies are actually related. But yeah, I would like to see it come. I think it's an interesting addition to it for a couple reasons. One, because it is this sort of anomalous things like, oh, House of a Thousand Corpses, like where did that come from? All of a sudden, House of a Thousand Corpses is coming, or could be coming. And people are like, oh, well, where did that come from? I think Rob Zombie is actually a good. He sort of reminds me a little bit of if they were to have a working relationship with which they have, obviously in Hollywood, but they can. He sort of reminds me of maybe the Jason Blums of the world, or stuff like that, where he's a good filmmaker to sort of get in your corner. He's done his own haunted thing, the Rob Zombie's Great American Nightmare. I believe that's what it was called. After he sort of left Horror Nights for a while, he went off and did his own thing. So I think he would be a really cool filmmaker to sort of bring over to the Orlando side for a while if they need him to. Maybe riff off of ideas with. Do an original Rob Zombie house. I think that would be pretty cool. We obviously had, in terms of music, music people, Hollywood has actually done a few of those. We had Alice Cooper, of course, which was first done in Hollywood. So I think it would be actually interesting if maybe like in the future, Rob Zombie, did some kind of a collaboration with Universal Orlando and Halloween Horror Nights, maybe with an original house. I think that'd be pretty cool. But for now, if House of a Thousand Corpses does show up, I think that's I think it's a solid fit. I quite enjoy the notion of House of a Thousand Corpses coming. I don't know. There's some if you look at the chatter and stuff like that that's been going on this past week. It's been a crazy couple of weeks in terms of chatter. Like I said, the announcement last week, which was supposed to happen, that didn't happen. I'm really kind of I don't like the whole the way that Horror Nights sort of plays with fans at 3 o'clock in the morning. I think that's maybe it comes from like sort of old school mentality, but like it sort of comes off a little bit a little bit cheap, because I think that the powers that be know that the fans might have caught on to their there's an announcement coming this week, and there take my word for it, there was supposed to be one, but it just didn't happen. And then sort of like playing with fans, I don't know. I just don't kind of dig that vibe. So it's been an interesting couple of week and a half, 2 weeks about shenanigans and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Like some people are saying that perhaps this was sort of brushed aside, or it's not coming, or it was never there. Who knows? I mean, I know, but it is what it is. Like, or at least I think I know. At least what I've been told. I would like to see it come to the event. Like I said before, I think it's a good fit. We'll brush all of our stuff aside for now. I think it's a good fit. I would like to see it come. I would like to see what they do with it. I would like to see how far they can push this house too. This whole notion about Horror Nights perhaps going family friendly, which is a bunch of bunk. I think doing something like this could actually be good for the event, and I would like to see what they do with it. Hopefully, if it does come, hopefully they put it in a decent enough space so that they can do good things with it. But anyway, guys, that's it for me. I don't know, like who knows? I don't know what this, because the schedule might all be upended now. So who the fuck knows? Who knows when an announcement's coming? But I would, like I said before, expect something very monstrous to come very shortly. I'm going to keep my eyes out, and so should you, because you never know. But anyway, guys, that is it for me, and I will talk to you guys soon? I don't know. Bye.